Hello everybody and welcome to my corner of the world and welcome to the next chapter in my junk journal journey. Oh, junk journal journey, my goodness. So if you have been following me, we've got to the stage where we have our signature bound into the cover, and we have done some decorating of some pages. And today I'm going to do another couple of pages of decoration, and then we'll start thinking about embellishments. So I have been thinking, I try my best to think ahead of time, so I'm not doing a lot of thinking on my feet. And I thought that I've got this pocket here, and I thought that this would make a pocket page rather, that I could put a couple of pockets on. I'm going to be using this journal for a holiday that we've got coming up, and I just want lots of places where I can tuck little bits of goodies that I collect on my journey. So I'm keeping up with using this these papers that I've kind of tripped on using. These ones I've pretty much used all of that up. That was something that I have had in my stash for so long that I cannot remember how long I've had it. So I haven't got any more of that to use, so I've gone back to the pink again. So the first thing I did, I already sort of made up one pocket here. And so this is going to measure 4.5. So we're going to get 4.5 there, and then how much did I cut off? So about that. And I'm just going to trim these straight edges with my decal edge trimmer. I have just loved this. I treated myself to it a few weeks back, and because I tried to do the tearing with the ruler, but I don't know if it's just me not having strong enough fingers or what. I really don't know, but I just couldn't get on with it. So my investment in this little tool was just wonderful. So I'm going to pop these here like this, and this is another embellishment that I've been using on my pages. So I've just cut it down. This here, the ones I've used here were like, I think the best part of an inch. Yeah, so I've cut a piece down it's like half an inch. But the 1 inch looked to me as though it would be much too wide to make a pocket on that pocket. I'm not sure, shall I put it on the bottom or shall I put it at the top? Okay, we'll just pop it at the top. So I'm gonna just use, because I'm using cardstock here, I'm gonna use a little bit of this white adhesive because it's nice and firm. So I just pop that in there like that. Just trim that little piece off. And then I'm going to put the other piece on this other pocket. And we can just let that sort of dry for a few moments. There we go. Okay, then we have I'm just gonna put some ink on the edges just to take the rawness away. And you know, one of these days, I think I will have a go at making a journal with sort of like clean cut lines and no no inking on the edges. I just have to see if my imagination will let me go that far. Anyway, so we've got this here. Let's just get rid of that a minute. And I've got a punch. Maybe have I got a little circle punch that I could just nip a little finger hole. I think that's a bit small. That's like a 1/2 inch. Maybe I could just, I've got a 1 inch. Bet you haven't got a 3/4. Oh, maybe I do have a 3/4 inch. Let's see what 3/4 of an inch. Ooh, that looks like it might be a bit handy. So the engineer in me wants to, so that's 4 1/2. So 2 1/4. Yeah, the engineer in me must make sure it's in the middle. I can't help it. And I'm just gonna sort of line that up in the middle. And I'm just gonna take a little, ooh, maybe not quite such a little nick. It's got a lot of card to go through. Oh. Well, that's weird. Oh, hold on a sec. Or maybe I dropped it and it's gone out of, well, we're not going to use that one. We're going to go ahead and we'll just line up the 1 inch. There we go. Actually, that doesn't look too bad. So we'll just do this. And do the same on that. Looks like I might have to do a little bit of mediation on that 3/4 inch part one. So there we can have those 2 pockets like that. So we just put some adhesive, just the tiniest bead. So that one can go there, and then this one can go here. And maybe I will put a tag or something in there so that, let's say I put like I don't know, a ticket or something from one of my visits and my adventures, and that then on my tag I can actually then write what we actually saw. That might be a good thing to do, but I don't want to stuff the pockets too much, because otherwise I won't have any room to put anything when we're on our travels. So let's just give this a bit of a wipe. So that makes a good couple of pockets on that page, and I'll be able to, as I say, put a tag and maybe some memory things in there. So let's see what other thing I thought of here. Okay, so here we've got this lovely big page, and so I thought that I would make like a long tag that I could also journal on the back. So I've got a scrap of this that I used on these pages. Let's see, where I'm going to do some journaling. So I think I'm going to use this as my template for making this tag. So I think that's quite a nice width. So that's like 3.5. And so my page, I keep forgetting what my page is, 8. So if I do 8, you know, I just thought to myself, why didn't I round the corners on those? Okay, we won't forget this time. We'll round the corners on this. So let's trim this. I get my book out of the way and we'll trim this down with my new fantastic toy. So this is basically I keep saying this each time I do my videos, but this is ephemera that I have downloaded from the internet. So I've purchased it on Etsy, then I download and I simply print. Sometimes I print on paper. This one I've printed on card. So I think if I need to have that at 8. If I do that at 8.5, there we go. 8.5, and I said that this was 3, didn't I? And then I can use it on any of my projects. So that's where I get these pretty papers from. I found one online the other day that I just fell in love with, and it's like William Morris, and it's like lots of greens, and it's really gorgeous. And so I'm thinking that whereas this has sort of turned out into a bluey pinky sort of journal, I'm thinking that I might perhaps do one in the greens. So I want this to finish off at 3.25. So I'm just going to trim a little bit off of all the bits. There we go. I just need to trim that little bit off the end. Right, so let's just get this out the way and bring this back in, and I'll try and explain what my thoughts are. So my thought is that I'll attach this. I'm going to maybe put a fold in there, and I'm going to attach that to there, and then that will be like a flappy piece. And I'm thinking that might look quite interesting. So let's go and do the old inking thing, because this is looking a bit raw on the edges. So, we're not doing bad for 13 minutes so far. And I think I've got one more idea to share with you in this particular video. And then next time we move on to some other forms of decoration. And I'm thinking I might do, some stamping decoration on the other pages, which will then allow me to sort of, if I do it like sort of a shadowy, I'll be able to journal over those. See, I've got this, which I'll be able to perhaps journal, but I'll also be able to tuck something in there as well. We'll see where we can go from there. Okay, so that's that. I'll do that now. we need a turn on this. So I think maybe this is maybe the tiniest bit too long, but I'm going to get my other trimmer out with the score blade, and I'm going to put myself a 3/4 inch, maybe a 3/4 inch fold or score like that. And then that will go, and that will be just about long enough, won't it? But I think I want to take a tiny bit off. just what my Aunt Dinah would have called a tiny snodge. There we go. Right. So if that goes like that and I want to journal, that needs to go like that, doesn't it? That needs to be upside down, and that needs to have a bit more trimmed off of it as well. Okay. Didn't quite think that fully through at the time, but it's easier to cut off than to stretch out and extend. So let's see what we can do now. So the plan is, okay, that's going to go like that. That will flop up like this, and then that will need to sort of be upside down side to be able to journal on it. Now, when I made my one last year, it was for a trip that my husband and it was a month-long trip that my husband and I did. And you think to yourself, okay, I've taken this, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna journal, I'm gonna keep all my bits and pieces, and then you get into your trip, and you've got other things that that take your attention, and you get home and you haven't done a single thing in your journal. Well, I was determined that I was going to use my journal. I had such fun making it that I was determined that I was gonna finish it and use it for the purpose that I had created it. And so not every day, we were actually on a cruise, so not every day did I sit and journal, but particularly on those sea days where you're kind of looking at the ocean, and we're reading, and we're finding something to eat and all those good things, that I sat and I worked on my journal, and I love it. The only thing I've not done, which one day I must, is to actually print some photographs. We take photographs on our phones and they kind of sit there, and I've got some lovely photographs. So one day I need to sit down and just print my photographs and then just slot them in the right sort of section. Now then, have I got, let's see, I'm going to put a couple of paper clips there to hold that in place for while it sets. And of course I didn't do it, but I am going to do it now. I'm going to round my ends because I've still got the chance to do that. That's nice. Ooh, yes, I like that. And so I have every intention of being just as disciplined on this trip. So I think that's going to look quite good. And I've just had a thought. I wonder, maybe I'll do that on another video, but I've got a punch that makes little tags. And maybe a tag, like a little tippy tag up there would work. Right, so there we have that bit. And that's just going to set. And I think the last thing I want to do today on this is a tuck. And you know, you've got pockets which are like this, and I think I've got like a couple of little tucky things, like this is like a corner pocket tucky type thing, but I want to do like a side tuck. Now again, I've been online and I found some lovely doilies, and I patiently cut them out. And I thought I would use this one. So we're going to go ahead while I'm thinking and talking and just go and do the deal here. And so a tuck is literally something that you tuck something behind. It may be a tag, it may be like a ticket to something that you've been to see. Maybe a menu or a receipt that, you know. I've still got somewhere. My mum and I back in 2000 went to South Africa, and we went on Table Mountain, and I've still got the ticket to the you know, on the cable car thing. Okay, so now, so a tuck for me at this point is going to be like here. So I've got a pocket I could put something, but I could also add a tuck where I can tuck something underneath that side and tuck something underneath on this side as well. So we've got some writing on this one, so I'm going to need to make sure that I fold it in half so that the writing is going to be level on both sides. And I'm going to put it in here like this. And as I say, we're just going to sort of catch it down at the very edge here and here. And so that I can tuck something behind it. And we'll probably, what we'll do is, I've got some tiny, tiny, itsy bitsy, like bulldog clips, if you remember, if that means anything to you. And maybe I can, so I'm just putting it on this center thing. I'm hoping that I'm going to be okay with this. And then we're going to make sure it's the right way round, Cindy. There we go. And we're going to just, oh, maybe do I want to put it in the center? There. Let's just put some ink on there so it looks like it's been there for a long time. And there, so I've got a pocket that I'll be able to put something in, and then as I say, I've got this tuck that I'll be able to put something in as well. So there we are. We've got some more pages decorated. So we've got some lovely pockets here that I should be able to put some stuff in. We went ahead. Oh, I've got another big page there I can do something with there. And we've done this sort of flappy thing here. And then we've just done a little doily tuck here. Well, I do hope that you've enjoyed this one. I certainly enjoyed playing around with you for company. And if you have enjoyed it, perhaps you'll go ahead, give me a thumbs up. And I'd like really to thank you so much for choosing to spend some time with me today. And I will look forward to seeing you next time. Thank you and Bye bye for now.